Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're back. As you can see, I have my rig back and got the green screen set up pretty good now. Um, yeah, sorry, it's been like a long time since we did a proper video. Computer was gone, had some issues. They were user error. I'm retarded. Well, there goes the monetization. Anyways, um, yeah, it was all my fault. Let me kind of adjust the old camera here. Oh, I want that. There we go. Okay, so today, as you can see, we're in the Doom Tower, and I'm just going to go over the teams that I use to tackle this rotation of the Doom Tower, okay? So we're actually going to start off with hard because a lot of my players that follow me, I feel like you guys are more mid to end game, so you should be pretty well versed in these secret rooms. And let's just get into it right here. Secret Room 1, Epic Champions only. As you can see, I've set it up to be Magnar Seer. Just these are what you call all-rounders. Each one of these could probably be a legendary and still fit that category. And there is no setup, there's no turn setup or anything because we only get so many slots for the Doom Tower. As you can see, I am not the best right now for this team, and this is on the first floor. So Secret Room 1, okay, that one's pretty easy. Secret Room 2, rank 6 attack champions only. This one can be pretty tricky, okay, because there are like void attack champion legendary kind of deals. And this is generally what I'm going to tell you is you want control champions. So as you can see, we have Herndeg in here and we have your Carl. I actually have Ninja 2 you could use because he has a freeze. And you can honestly, I'm going to say you could use, I think Nethril is an attack champion, right? Where's old Nethy boy? Yeah. Nethril has like a decreased turn meter and stun and decreased speed. So you could use him as well. But you just want to have a bit of control on your champions. If you're really struggling with this, you're really mid-game, like early mid-game or whatever, and you think you can take this on, what's our motto? That's right, folks. Stun sets. You heard it. Stun set. Put stun sets on your champions, especially the ones that have AoE abilities, which you should have a fair few, okay? But I'm not saying, like, say you use Candrafon. Don't swap Candrafon into a stun set just to try to get this floor done. It's not worth it, okay? But just, you know what I'm saying. Floor 3. Epic Spirit Champions. Wow, I'm having a stroke. Epic Spirit Champions only. Okay, you can do this in a number of ways. I wanted to test out this guy here, Yolfrig, I think is his name. And, what is it, Lady Atessa? Let's just check this here. Let's go by affinity and let's just kind of go down to spirits. You're going to be near the bottom. Epic Spirit Champions only. Yeah. So Yolfrig, I really like this guy and I recommend him to everybody. He has an increase in turn meter and he gives increased attack to your allies. He attacks all enemies and has a 100% chance of stealing one random buff from each enemy, and then he gives everybody in your team a big continuous heal. His A1 can bring a decreased attack, and his passive removes all decreased attack debuffs from all allies at the start of this champion's turn. And then he does have a very good aura of increased ally speed in all battles by 15%. Really like this guy. No masteries. I did have a 1-star awakening for him, and I have him in reflex. Okay, or not reflex, I'm sorry, relentless. And he's decently fast at 230, and he's got good accuracy, so he can just steal buffs. We also have Deacon Armstrong. Usually I have 2 extra pieces on him here because I put him in speed and a stun set, which is really what you want to do with him. You can actually put him in a relentless set, and with all these refresh accessories, I have literally watched him take 5 turns in a row. It gets ridiculous because of his abilities here. Because his A1, he can bring a leech. His A2 brings decreased defense, and it will attack all enemies, okay? And then his A3, this gives him an extra turn already. Fills the turn meters of your allies and then increases their turn meter, right? So fills their turn meter, decreases the enemy's turn meter, and then grants him an extra turn. So he just cycles really fast, and he has a great aura here, which is a 19% increase in speed in all battles. That is the same aura that Duchess has. Okay, so there's something to keep in mind. Also, I gave him commanding presence. I just kind of felt like that was the best thing to give this guy. His masteries are fully done. I do have him all the way down here to give him an extra 5% chance to land that stun from the stun set. Okay. We had right here Lady Annabelle, not Tessa. Lady Annabelle. I have her in a poison set, right? A toxic set, and I had her in immortal. Okay, so she attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit heals this champion by 3% of their max HP. She has an A2 that attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance of placing leech for 2 turns, and a 100% chance of placing decreased speed for 2 turns on targets with less than 50% turn meter. Okay, and then her A3, Sanguine Exchange. She'll swap HP with an ally. If this champion's HP is equal to or higher than the target's after the swap, she gets a revive on death on the ally. If this champion is, if their HP is lower than the other ones, then she gets to revive, okay? So if it's equal, or hers is higher, the person she took it from gets a revive on death, and then vice versa, okay? And then she will also place increased speed on all allies for 2 turns, and then her passive, heal this champion by 50% of their max HP whenever an ally or an enemy dies, okay? She's great. She's the queen of tits. I mean, she's just nice to look at. I don't know what else to tell you. I did give her Phantom Touch for her awakening, just to do some extra damage and try to speed it up. There are builds where you can use her, I think, to solo Bommel, and I might do a video like that here in the near future, and this will speed the Bommel farm up here with Phantom Touch, okay? And who else did we have on that team? Boom, boom. I want to say we had Stag Knight. We definitely had Magnar. Magnar, self-explanatory. Mine's not very good. He could use a ton more HP, and he could be a little faster with more crit damage. I just threw him together in this HP lethal set. But Magnar, if you don't know, he will... right here, percussive pound. He attacks all enemies and he places an extra hit on anybody that doesn't have an HP burn. It's very easy to set up. He is the spirit version of Trunda, and he's arguably probably the better version of Trunda because he can survive because he's HP based. Okay, I have him down to Helm Smasher, and I gave him Cruelty for his 3-star. Now the attack doesn't do anything for him, the HP will, and then you can get crit damage and speed on higher awakenings. Okay, and who else did we have? You can also use Grush the Mangler in this floor. I mean, you have a ton of options, but Stag Knight, again, one of the easier ones to put together. I didn't want to spend too much time on that, and we spent too much time on that. Okay. Room floor. Champions from the Corrupted Alliance only. This is arguably the most powerful alliance in the entire game. Is Demon Spawn, Undead Hordes, Night Revenants, and Dark Elves. These are the most powerful champions in the game. You look at the list of like who is the best in what area, and you're going to find them here real quick, okay? So it's self-explanatory. I'm using Mithrala Lead with an accuracy increase. Using my ruled Huntsman, he is +2, which is very nice. I could actually +3 him if I want, but I need to find a replacement for him. I have my Kymar, I have my Kandrifon, and I have my Siffy. Bing, bang, boom, done. Okay, moving on. Room 5, Force Defense Champions only. So this one might come as a surprise to you, but you can do this with a couple Fusion Champions. Honestly, if I take out you, and you, and I do this, and this, and this, right here, this team is going to do just fine. You'll get through the entire thing, no problem. I was just trying Helier to make him work. I try so hard to make this guy work, and he fucking sucks. But we all got... Ultimate Death Knight is login champion. Drexar is a fragment fusion you can pick up. Razin is a fusion you can do. Cantor the Cyclone is an old fusion, and Burungiri is an epic. Now, Burungiri is great because he has a stun. Cantor is great because she can place a bunch of debuffs. Drexar is just good to put out the HP burns and keep everything moving. And Razin you build for damage anyways and accuracy enough to deplete everybody's turn meter and land his debuffs and steal buffs. He's amazing. And then Ultimate Death Knight, you really don't need to say anything more. And I think I actually need to change the old sheet thing there, so since that change came into effect. Okay, Magic Support Champions only. This is great. There are builds where you can solo this right here with Venomage. Okay, I don't have it set up for that. This is the team that I have for it. I have a bunch of amazing Magic Support Champions, but this is what I'm doing here. You can honestly get rid of those guys. You can run these 3, 4, and this guy here. You'll have no issues. Okay, this is just a bunch of control, and all your damage is coming from Venomage. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You can actually replace Venom Mage with another AoE magic support champion, put him in a toxic set. You'll do just fine. It's going to take a little longer, but the outcome will be good. Okay, let's go to room 7. Rare HP champions only. I think I have a video of this team in action, but just in case, let's go to my rares. These guys are all out of the vault, and I can just show you what they look like here. So let's go to my rares. They're on rank. Okay, so Ironclad, put him in a stun set. Why? Put him in stun and immortal and put healers with him because of his passive. When healed, he'll attack all enemies inflicting damage proportional to any surplus heal. The damage inflicted is equal to 50% of any surplus heal. And it can only happen once. It has a 1-turn cooldown. So he has to take a turn for it to do it again. This includes any set on him. So if you put a stun set on him and that goes off, he has a chance to stun everybody out there. Okay? No masteries. This works great. He's decently fast. I have him on 100% crit rate because it speeds the run up. Okay? Painkeeper. You all should have one if you're running unkillable teams. She's amazing. I use her in Faction Wars. If I wasn't running an unkillable team, I'd have her booked out and ready to go for Faction Wars. She puts a heal on her A2 and she can decrease the cooldown of all skills for allies by 1 turn. Okay? And she's just in my typical clan boss setup. I have her in a toxic set with speed. Right here, this guy's a sleeper here, Gear Grinder. If you have him, he's a rare void champion. He can carry you through the game. He's an amazing support. His A1 places a continuous heal buff on himself for a turn if his attack is critical. His A2 will heal all allies by 15% of their max HP, 3-turn cooldown. And then his A3 will revive a dead ally with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Okay, and I have him on Miracle Heal just because it made sense. He has no masteries. Okay. Right here, Doom Screech. This is Seeker's little cousin. Okay, he is a HP based instead of defense based. He kind of does the same thing as Seeker. He will attack all enemies and place a shield to 3% of his HP on himself for 2 turns, and then damage increases according to this champion's current HP. Can't remember if it's higher damage or lower higher damage. Okay, his A2, Warning Screech. This is just like Tailwind. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 30% and then gives all of them increased defense for 2 turns. Amazing. A1 brings decreased accuracy. I am on Phantom Touch. That's to make the run go faster. Okay? No masteries. Not even fully rolled up. He does just fine. Right here, if you were really trying to be free to play, this HP rare is for you. Gnarlhorn. He will get you through so much content, it's ridiculous. You're like, you don't have any good legendaries? I mean, you're going to because you have RTAC if you're logging into the game right now. But Gnarlhorn right here, he has an AoE provoke for 1 turn, and then he gives himself increased defense. He also can give himself unkillable for 2 turns with 3-turn cooldown. And then we have Ram, which does damage according to how much HP this champion has lost. Who cares? Nobody cares about that. I have him on no masteries. If I did, I would probably bring him down right here to Fearsome Presence to give him another 5% chance to land that freeze. Okay? He's in a freeze and immortal set because when he provokes everybody to him, they're going to attack, and then you have, what's the percent chance here? You have a 20% chance to land the freeze. If you go down to Fearsome Presence, boom, 25%, okay? Gnarlhorn is amazing. Mine's decently fast, over 200 speed, accuracy is more than enough to land his provokes in the secret rooms, okay? So that's what, 1, 2, 3, and then we had 4, 5, right there. That's the team, baby. That's the team. I love it. It takes a while. Let's see how many turns it took me. 372. The fastest one was with 2 ironclads, and that's Rodney. Shout out Rodney. Old B-Rod. And yeah, he has Phantom Touch on all these guys, and he's just running them through just to make people do a ton of damage and do stuns and all that fun stuff. Okay, but if you look, this is a good place to get ideas too. That is the consensus. Run Painkeepers, run Ironclad, run Gnarlhorn. This is the world's fastest for this floor. 84. I don't know what the language that is. Looks like Chinese. Okay, Secret Room 8. Force HP champions only. All right, so this is where some people start to shine. Versalf the Grim will shine here. Lanathril will shine here, and Black Knight shines here. I really tried to get this dude here. I can't remember his name. Let me look. The one from the Sylvan Watchers that places taunt, not provoke. Big difference. I don't know. I guess I just needed a mechanic. Dude in the runic. Okay, I tried to make this guy work. I can't get him work. Maybe he needs masteries. I had him really fast, trying to cycle through his abilities, gave him decent resistance. It just didn't work as well. If you follow my channel for a while, you understand that I really advocate for you making husk. Husk is amazing. Make a shit ton of them. Okay, I have 6 husks. Okay, I have 2 for each team for Hydra. Right, Nightmare, Brutal, Hard. Boom, 2 husk each. So they have AoE stuns and they have A1 provokes. It's amazing. Okay, my verse off the Grim. Let's go down to old Versy. Verse off the Grim. Oh, excuse me. Verse off the Grim. I had him in a reflex set, but then I just have him in a hodgepodge because it doesn't matter. Okay, I have him with 100% crit rate and decent enough accuracy because I kind of want him to start landing his provokes. I want him to land leeches. He'll place an extra hit on people that are under CC abilities: freeze, fear, true fear, provoke, petrification, stun, and then he also puts leeches on him. But he also has this ability where he does ally protection and increases defense. Okay, his passive, when hit, has a 20% chance to place provoke on the attacker for a turn. Occurs once per hit. You can take him down to Piercing Presence and put that up to 25%. Okay, and you can actually run him in a provoke set. It's kind of crazy. You can just keep having fun with him. Let me just roll this up right now. We're in CVC still, and I'm trying to hit my 400k. I think we're like 80k away. Anyways, Lanathril. I have Lanathril in a speed, and I have him in a bolster set. Okay, that's generally... I don't even have him in a full bolster set. Jeez, that's embarrassing. So I have him in Speed and Mortal and just some other pieces. I use Lanathril in my Bommel farm team because I don't have a cardio. Okay, so he's 250 speed, decent HP, really not much for damage. He's just there to get everybody to attack. He's not booked. He hasn't. His masters are almost done. They don't matter. You don't need to run him in that. Sorry, let me move my phone. That's the team there. And if you've ever followed, like I said, if you're following me and you're looking at my husks, you know they're either in reflex or relentless. They're over 220 speed and they have 100% crit rate or close to, and they have enough accuracy to land their debuffs. Make sense? Okay, moving on. Room 9, Void Support Champions only. Okay, this might be a paywall for you guys. I have spent too much money on this game in the last 4 years. It's very evident, as you can see. I got 2 freaking Yumikos. I finally got my Siffy like a couple weeks ago. I was pretty pumped about. I have a Seer here that has Max Awakening for Crushing Rent. Really, if you have a Seer, you have a decreased defense champion, you have a champion putting up buffs, that's all you need. Just survive, okay? Moving on. Room 10, champions from the Arisian Champion Alliance only. So this is the bottom guys. So you can use anybody from Shadowkin, Dwarves, and the Sylvan Watchers. Choose your best champions, okay? Herndig's always great. Trunda's always great. Harima is always amazing. Lady Kimmy for the Speed and Doom Tower, and then Yumiko for Reset. That's what I have going on. Moving on. Room 11, Epic Magic Champions only. This is the exact same team pretty much I told you about before for Magic Support Champions only. The difference is, obviously we don't have legendaries, but I showed you this Epic team for people that were kind of working on a budget. This guy here, the blue dude, what's his name? Krillian the Blue. He's an amazing champion, honestly. 100% freeze placed. I mean, we're really power creeping now. Yeah. Try it in the blue. I have him in perception and speed and 2 pieces stone skin for whatever. I really am trying to use him for Fire Knight, but it's still just, the freeze just does not work on Fire Knight. I don't, small rant. Why put a mechanic in a game that isn't going to fucking work, Plarium? Why? Right? But he's 249 speed, 90% crit rate. The resistance doesn't matter. Accuracy is what matters. His A1 can place a freeze. 35% chance. Okay, and he attacks 3 times. Each hit has a chance to place that. His A2 attacks all enemies 2 times. He has a 65% chance of placing a freeze debuff for 1 turn. Okay, so I guess it's not 100%. I thought it was. Apologies. His A3 places increased speed on everybody and fills their turn meters by 15%. This alone makes him an amazing champion. His passive will fill his turn meter by 5% for each freeze debuff placed by him, nobody else. His masters aren't done. He's fully booked though. I love him. I think he's cool, and he's really cool looking. He kind of looks like the Dark Elves from Thor: The Dark World, which I like the design. So, movie, I still like the movie. People shit on that movie. Right here, rank 6 void attack champions only. Like I told you earlier, you want CC champions. So right here, I have your Carl, I have Tumezia, who places stuns, and then we have Ramanatu, who locks all things out. If you have active abilities and no passives, he locks your actives. If you have passive abilities, he locks those instead. He can put shit on cooldown with his A1 by attacking people, and he can place True Fear with his A2 once he lands 5 more debuffs on a person after the attack. Okay, don't sleep on Vlad. Vlad got a buff. So when Vlad was the fusion, people were upset, right? They said, okay, this guy looks cool-ish. I mean, he kind of looks like Twilight Dad deal here. I always thought he looked like Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but that's me showing my age, you know what I'm saying? I'm in my 30s, all right? Younger people than me like, oh, he looks like whatever, Dr. whatever their name is from Twilight. And I was like, dude, he fucking looks like Spike. They just need to make him like angrier and more scary. Put some fucking eyeliner on this guy. Anyways, initially, this was a single target ability. It was not AoE. When you make a Void Legendaries are up here, right? You have other legendaries down here. So you say, okay, Voids are better than regular legendaries. They should always be better than their non-Void counterpart. They didn't do that with this guy, and the community was pissed. But Plarium actually listened, but it took him like a year, or almost a year, and then they finally buffed him, and everybody was happy. And I remember people saying we shouldn't do this fusion because it's bad, and I remember thinking to myself, Mashald used to be shit, Draco used to be shit, Kandrafon was a big pile of shit, and when the game started, and then they buffed all 3 of those guys, fucking came right out of the vault, man. Came out of the vault and came inside your wife. That's how good they were. Okay, so Vlad is amazing. I have mine booked out. His masteries are done, and he is in like a hodgepodge of sets. I have him in a 2-piece kill stroke. If you don't know, kill stroke is the better version of crit damage because you get speed with it as well. I have him just, you know, perception pieces and a speed piece. His speed is 222, 100% crit rate. Attack could be higher, but that's decent attack. 256 crit damage is good, more than enough accuracy for Doom Tower, and he does amazing things. I love Vlad. Baron, you don't really need to explain Baron. He just does damage. He crosses his eyes and hits shit with a bat. I love Baron. Okay, so that is this part to hard Doom Tower. Those are the rooms. Those are the teams I'm using. But remember, if you're having trouble in these rooms, the golden rule is put AoE champions in the team and then put them in a stun set. And if that doesn't work, get their masteries down to Fearsome Presence, and then you're going to have bad runs. You're not going to get perfect runs every time, especially if you're mid-game or very early game. You just need to keep retrying. That's the beauty of these keys, is you don't lose them until you're successful. So you get more. I mean, it will take a while. Some rooms like that HP rare champion room, that takes me like 15 minutes. I don't even notice it though. I just place it on my other screen. I play other games on my main monitor, and I look back and go, oh, it's done. And then boom, you know, we're done. But that's going to be part 1 to this video. Please stay tuned for the next one. I am sorry I've not been putting out content. I haven't forgot about you guys. I'm not gonna lie, I have lost like my luster for the game. If we look at my resources here, I was desperately trying to get a legendary yesterday when the Michinaki was on 10 times, even though we all know 10 times is a lie. I do regret not getting Michinaki, the guaranteed time that you could get him. But I've been just trying to really help out. Like, what am I at right now? I need like 67,000 more points, which I definitely will be getting tonight. Shout out to Spartan Mobs on 2Mob. We have a deal with them doing a 2-to-1 win because they knew they weren't going to win, and they knew we were just going to go hard. So shout out to them. I've been doing a lot of stand-up comedy lately. I'm kind of scared to post any of my material, not because I'm afraid people are going to steal it, but I kind of say some shit that maybe people might find offensive, and I'm not. I'm just starting out as a comic, so, and just to level with you, I've always wanted to be a stand-up comic. It's my dream. Shout out David I'm not gonna finish your name, sorry. Shout out my cousin David. He's always wanted to be a comic too, and him and my wife have really encouraged me to go for my dream. So I'm trying it out, and I'm getting some laughs, so we'll see how far it goes. So that's also another reason, work, trying to do stand-up, and just not having a lot of love for Plarium right now. But I'm gonna put out some videos for you. Okay, so this is part 1. Stay tuned, and as always, I love you, God bless, and goodbye.